We are now in the most diverse region of China, and this is probably the most beautiful town of the entire country. Welcome to Lijiang. If you haven't heard of Lijiang before, you're not alone. But interestingly, it's one of the most famous travel destinations in China. It has a rich history, beautiful landscapes, and a unique cultural mix. Plus, it sits directly on the ancient Tea Horse Road, a trade route that used to connect China with its southern neighbors. Hi, we're Vero and Lee, and we are on a mission to explore the world through its food. And in this season, we will take you to explore the Yunnan region in China.
There are actually 3 ancient towns in this area, the most famous one being Dayan, which is typically known just as Lijiang Ancient Town. And there's Shuhe and Baisha.
Instead of staying in Lijiang directly, we booked a lovely homestay just 5 kilometers away in Shuhe. And that was a really great decision. The interior was modern and spacious, but it still kept its old charm. The best part was the terrace, where we watched the sunrise slowly light up the Jade Dragon Snow Mountain. Absolutely breathtaking. Even though Shuhe is sometimes called Lijiang's suburb, but it has a charm of its own. It's been around for over 1,000 years and was once a key hub for the leather trade. Even today, you can find skilled artisans crafting beautiful leather goods in traditional shops. Walking through the cobbled streets, we saw locals sipping pu'er tea, chatting, and just soaking up the slow, relaxed pace of life. It still felt very authentic. One thing that really impressed us was Shuhe's ancient water system, which has worked for over 800 years. Since these towns are right next to these beautiful mountains, there's a lot of water here in these towns. You can see plenty of small canals with crystal clear water flowing through the entire town. There's also the 3-eyed wells, a super smart water purification system. The top tier is for the drinking water, the middle tier is for washing vegetables, and the bottom tier is for washing clothes. Such an amazing piece of engineering that's been in use for over centuries. Rice noodles in Yunnan are like pasta in Italy. You'll find them everywhere, in all shapes and flavors. It is a local dish that most of the people will eat during the day. We had 2 amazing bowls at a local restaurant. one with a comforting chicken broth and another one with tomato sauce and minced pork, which reminded us a little bit of Italian ragu. The fried tofu on the side was also really delicious.
Historically, the people who lived here are called the Naxi people, and they have their own language and culture. It's also a Sino-Tibetan language, so it's kind of related to Chinese, Mandarin Chinese. But what's fascinating is that they still have their own writing system. If I'm not wrong, it's one of the only remaining pictographic writing systems still in use today. I think they are not currently in use for general purposes, but only for celebrations and religious purposes. But it's pretty cool. They added Chinese translation here, so I can understand what they're saying. And here it says, "Good morning." Logical, right?
One of Yunnan's most unique pastries is the rose cake, filled with sweet rose jam, made from fresh edible roses, sugar, and flaky pastry. They have a soft, buttery, yet slightly crispy texture. The floral aroma is delicate and subtly sweet, quite different from European pastries, I'd say. To be honest, I feel like they make everything here out of roses. They even put it in the coffee, if you wish. And we can't forget to mention the adorable four-legged inhabitants of Shuhe. The town is home to so many friendly cats and dogs that brought an extra charm to the place. And some of these dogs were super, super beautiful. After sunset, Shuhe is very different. Most day trippers leave and the old town becomes beautifully quiet. Walking through the lantern-lit streets at night was one of the most peaceful moments of our trip. Oh, and do you remember the mushroom season? Well, Yunnan is known as the Kingdom of Mushrooms, with over 800 species, and the best way to enjoy them? Well, it's the Mushroom Hotpot. Unlike traditional hot pots that use rich broth, Yunnan's version lets the natural flavors of fresh mushrooms shine. We could find porcini, matsutake, and even truffles inside. And besides this, we also had a tabletop barbecue going, with grilled meats, veggies, and potatoes. The mushrooms need about 20 minutes to cook and to release their umami flavor into the broth. Meanwhile, we enjoyed the table grill, which was already quite a lot of food. The 20 minutes passed by very quickly and the mushrooms were ready to be tasted. To be very honest, we don't even recognize half of those wild fungi varieties inside this hot pot. But each of them has a unique taste and texture. Some are more crunchy, some more slimy, some has an intense umami taste, while others were more neutral. But without any doubt, this thing is definitely addictive. It's simply impossible to stop eating until the pot gets empty. We had a set menu for two, and it was way too much food, which is quite common in China. I don't know how, but somehow Lee managed to finish absolutely everything. As always. Oh, and by the way, the entire hot pot cost us about 20 euros for both of us, which is really, really affordable. A little further from Shuhe, we found Baisha, one of the few places in the region that still feels untouched by mass tourism. The town has some very nice cafes. We decided to enjoy 2 cups of delicious Yunnan coffee with nice views of the Jade Dragon Mountains. We also enjoyed just doing people watching from the balcony while getting some warm sunlight on our skins. This village was actually the capital of the Nashi kingdom for over 500 years and is packed with history. Do you remember that the Nashi people have their own language? Well, you can find the letters all around the town, and we really had a lot of fun trying to understand what this should mean. We also saw a lot of street vendors, some selling locally grown fruits and vegetables, others selling nicely made handicrafts. But what really caught our attention are the different street foods that they sell. We tried some freshly made fried pancake with minced beef and scallions. It was very crunchy on the outside and fluffy inside. That was really delicious. Another local specialty with roses is this interesting looking mantou.
¿Quieres de fresa o de durian?
Fresa.
Tomato.
A steamed bread filled with the rose and strawberry jam. It was very nice. And one of our best discoveries in Baisha was this small, cozy shop selling both books and baozi. We tried a few and oh wow, they were really next level good. They were all very nice, but the pork and matsutake mushroom one, wow! It was so juicy and tasty. The fattiness of the minced pork combined perfectly with the intense flavors of the mushroom. It was like a poem. That was really like umami heaven. Similar to Shuhe, Baisha has also plenty of adorable four-legged inhabitants. We could easily spend the whole day just watching and playing with them. Somehow, you can find a lot of Alaskan Malamutes here in Yunnan. They are simply gorgeous. But of course, we also visited Lijiang. The city is famous for its beautiful architecture, shaped by the traditions of the Nashi people, an ethnic group with roots going back to the northwestern China. The Old Town, also known as Dayan, is like a living museum, blending Nashi traditions with classic Ming-era Chinese influences. And what's really cool is that local carpenters, they don't even use blueprints. They just build these stunning wooden homes entirely from memory. And those intricate window carvings, they are so important here that even the poorest families invest in them before buying furniture. And one of the best things about visiting in the low season, we didn't have to pay the entrance fee to explore the Old Town or the gorgeous Black Dragon Pool. This pool was built in 1737 during the Qing dynasty. The setting is straight out of a postcard with a white marble bridge, ancient pavilions, and an incredible view of Jade Dragon Snow Mountain. For most of the tourists, actually the mountain, the Jade Dragon Snow Mountain, is the most famous thing here in the region. But we also want to show you the downside of visiting a popular tourist destination here in China. Lijiang has been a UNESCO World Heritage Site since 1997, so we knew it would be popular. But wow, we weren't expecting it to be this busy, even in the off-season. The Old Town is fully restored, glowing with colorful lights, and definitely has a magical feel. But with all the souvenir shops and loudspeakers, it felt more like a tourist theme park than an authentic cultural experience. Tourism has really changed Lijiang, with visitor numbers jumping from 2.9 million in 2000 to over 54 million in 2019. While this has brought opportunities, it's also displaced many of the indigenous Nashi communities and led to challenges like water pollution and even destructive fires in 2012 and 2014. Of the 3 places we visited, Shuhe was definitely hands down our favorite. It just had the perfect balance, enough tourism to support the local economy, but still authentic and relaxed. We loved the slow pace, the friendly locals, the nice cafes, and the beautiful setting. If we had more time, we would have stayed even longer. It's definitely a place we'd love to return to one day. So if you ever find yourself in Yunnan and want to visit Lijiang, don't skip Shuhe. Trust us, you won't regret it. If you liked the video, please subscribe and follow our mission to explore the world through its food. Bye bye!